Alright, so we're looking at examples where we're trying to decide if two triangles are similar or not. So I have another set of triangles here, and it says identify the corresponding angles and sides in the pair of triangles, then determine whether the triangles are similar or not. And so in this case, use the tick marks to identify the corresponding angles and determine if they are congruent, have equal measures. Remember that if A has two little angle marks, I'm looking for the other angle that has two little marks. In this case, A corresponds to F. Those two little marks tell us that both of those angles have the same measure. So are they congruent? Yes. Angle B has one little arc, so I'm looking for the angle over here that also has one arc. That angle on E, that one angle, says that those are my corresponding angles. It also tells me that those angles are congruent. Yes. And angle C corresponds to angle, in this case there are 3 marks on C, there are also 3 marks on D. That tells me that both of those angles are congruent, they're the same, and so we would say yes. And then it says if corresponding angles are congruent, they were all congruent, then identify the corresponding sides. Label with a line over top. If the angles are not congruent, then we can stop and we don't need to keep going. In this case, the angles are all congruent, so now let's look at our sides and see if their ratios are proportional. In this case, I'm going to start with AB. Side AB corresponds to side ABFE. We can also say 2 tick marks to 1, 2 tick marks to 1, that would be FE. So AB corresponds to side FE. With letters, I'm going to write AB into my fraction up here over FE. And the ratio of side lengths then, AB is 3.5 over FE is 2.5. Next, I have side, after AB, I have BC. BC is 1 tick mark to 3, so I'm going to go from 1 tick mark to 3. ED is order matters. Here's my side ED. So line BC over line ED is my next fraction. BC is 6 3/10, and ED is 4 5/10. So I'm going to write my fraction with numbers here, my ratio number. And then my last side, I've got AB, BC, we've also got CA. Side CA corresponds to 3 to 2, 3 to 2 DF. So the ratio of letters is CA over DF. The ratio of numbers, CA is 8 4/10 over DF is 6 0/10, or just 6. And so reduce and compare the ratios. We're going to ask ourselves, is 3 5/10 over 2 5/10 equal to 6 3/10 over 4 5/10? And is that still equal to 8 4/10 over 6 0/10? This is going to tell us if things are proportional. And so I put a little question mark here to ask myself that. When I use my calculator, the fraction bar means divide. So 3.5 divided by 2.5 is 1 4/10. 6.3 divided by 4.5 is 1 4/10. And 8 4/10 divided by 6 0/10 is 1 4/10. In this case, 1 4/10 is equal to 1 4/10, which is also equal to 1 4/10. So are their ratios equivalent? Yes. Because their angles are congruent and their sides are proportional, these figures are similar. When we write our similarity statement, we would say that triangle ABC is similar to triangle. This is where I have to make sure I get my order right. I have to make sure that the angle that corresponds with A is listed first. So F, A, B, C, these are in order that I'm going to do F, E, D. Is the order that all of these have to go in, because B corresponds to E and C corresponds to D. So when we write our sentence to explain our answer, we use one of the options below. Again, remember that angles are congruent, sides are proportional. So we would say, yes, these things are similar. Yes, triangle ABC is similar to triangle FED because this answer is the same as the last time. Corresponding angles are congruent. And corresponding sides are proportional. So you can see why it's super important that we commit these terms to memory and these definitions to memory. Corresponding angles are congruent and corresponding sides are proportional. Those definitions of similar figures are going to help us explain our answers when we're asked to do so.